Coming up, cooler weather's coming, so why not learn how to make a nice, easy gumbo? Brittany is gonna join me on Tune In.
Boy, am I hungry. And with the cooler weather means gumbo weather. And I'm here with Chef Kevin Belton, who's gonna tell us a little bit about what it takes to make an excellent gumbo, because National Gumbo Day is on Saturday, right?
Yes, and you know the thing is, I'm trying to bring the cooler weather to us.
Good,
We've had enough.
I'm ready.
But you know, in Louisiana, everybody, well, most of us know how to make gumbo. But today I want to show someone how to make it so simple by baking their flour in the oven.
Okay.
You know, everybody knows you put the oil in the pan, put the flour, and you stand there and you stir and you stir and you stir.
And that takes forever.
It does take forever because butter was melted on a low fire. So everybody tended to cook their roux on a low fire. But if you take a cookie sheet, put 3 to 4 cups of flour on a cookie sheet, keep it at least an inch away from the sides, set your oven at, say, 375 degrees. Every 30 minutes, go in and stir it. So look at the flour here. This is all-purpose flour, okay?
Okay.
This is flour that I've baked in the oven. Can you see the difference in the color?
Quite a difference.
And what happens is, instead of having to stand here and stirring and stirring and stirring, all we have to do now is store our flour. The only thing we have to do to this flour before we use it is re-sift it.
Okay.
Now, I sift it and put it in a container. You can put it in a Ziploc bag, but what's nice is you can save this until you use it.
Great.
You store it however you store your flour when you bring your home however you bring your flour home from the grocery store, that's how you store your flour that's been baked in the oven.
In an airtight container.
So I have some at home that I bake for 2 hours, some I bake for 4 hours. So the longer you cook it, the darker it gets, the more flavor it has, but it saves time. So gang, hey, cookie sheet, 3 to 4 cups of flour about an inch high, keep it an inch away from the sides, 375 in the oven, okay? While you're watching TV one evening, when the commercial comes on, get up, go stir it. Or when you go to the fridge to get something to drink, give it a stir. And the only thing you have to do is re-sift it, because you know what's nice? I'm gonna show them in the next segment exactly how quick this changes colors, because our flour is already cooked. So, hey, if you've had trouble making roux for gumbo, this will be your savior.
And this speeds up the process.
Exactly.
Great, good little tip. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm with Chef Kevin Belton, and we just learned how to, a neat little trick, browning our flour in the oven.
Yes, yes.
Never heard of that.
And you said your husband always makes a gumbo.
He does.
But maybe this is a trick you could show him.
I could.
Okay, so I put a little oil in the pan.
Okay.
You know, when I started off our gumbo that we made today, I started off with a little bit of oil in the pan in Trinity. Sauteed the Trinity down, then I sprinkled our dry roux right on top of that, so we don't need as much oil as we normally make, because normally with a roux, you always want equal amounts of flour and oil.
Okay.
This way we save the oil, but I have a little oil here just because I want to show folks so they can see it, just how quick this changes colors. Look at that.
Pretty much no time at all.
No time at all, because it's already cooked in the oven. What I have here is a little chicken stock. And you know, basically the base of a roux is nothing but gravy.
And you can already see it starting to thicken up.
Yes. Because you know, flour has gluten in it. Gluten is what makes flour a thickener. The shorter time it's cooked, the lighter it is, it's more of a thickener. The longer we cook it, the darker it gets, the less of a thickener, more flavorful.
So normally if you wouldn't put the flour in the oven, I mean, how much time would you be sitting here stirring this?
We would have to this color, we would probably have to take at least 5 or 6 minutes. Well, I do a roux on a high fire.
Okay.
Remember, gang, butter was melted on a low fire, so you had to melt the butter on a low fire. But when I make a roux with oil, I heat up the oil, and it reduces the cooking time.
Okay.
But this is just like an etouffee or whatever. So here, what I did, I sauteed the Trinity, put our roux on it, added our stock to it, and in here, oh, look at this.
Look at, oh, beautiful.
And you notice, a lot of times with gumbo, we get a lot of oil on the top.
Okay.
Because the oil comes out of the roux, and we have to skim it. Here, I have andouille sausage, I have smoked sausage, I have chicken, And you know where this oil is coming out of? Those little balls right there, that's hot sausage. I took fresh hot sausage. I learned this trick from my mom. Just made it in little balls and dropped it in once the gumbo got cooking. We put in a little bit of Creole seasoning, some bay leaves, and I tell you what, now that this has been simmering, we're gonna talk about our next segment, how we're gonna serve our gumbo, because that's just as important.
My stomach is rumbling. I'm ready. Everyone knows that there's something that goes with gumbo, and you're on a team, really. Are you team potato salad or team rice?
I'm team both.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm team both
I am
because
too. I switch it up.
you know, I had one grandmother came from Thibodeau, you know, spoke French, and in, I don't know, in Cajun country, it's something about potato salad and gumbo. But no matter what, you have to cook with flavor. Any cooking you want to do at home and change it 100%, never cook with water. Always cook with a flavored liquid. So our rice, it has a little of a yellowish tint to it because I cooked it in chicken stock, but I put in parsley, I put in some green onions, and I cooked the rice in chicken stock. Now, you mentioned to me that sometimes you've tried to cook rice in chicken stock.
Yeah, we've done this a few times, and it comes out a little crunchier for some reason.
If that happens, just add a little more stock to it.
Okay.
Just add a little more stock to it. But what's nice is with the rice, when you put something over rice, you have flavor on top, but usually just the plain rice on the bottom.
Yeah.
By cooking your rice in a flavor gang, you're gonna get flavor from underneath as well as flavor on top. Now, I have to tell on my son, my oldest. Lil Kev, one day he loves gumbo, and I have to have potato salad with it.
Yeah.
So I looked at him, and he had a serving bowl. And on one side of the bowl, he had potato salad. On the other side of the bowl, he had rice. And I'm like, there's plenty. What are you doing? He's like, I'm saving trips. So he had potato salad on one side, rice on it, and he put his gumbo right down the middle.
I like that.
Yeah, and
So
it
you
saved
just took a
trips.
scoop, one side and the other side.
And for those of you that are never, and we're talking yellow mayonnaise, mustard, potato
course,
salad
the good
gang.
stuff.
Yeah. So if you've never tried it, take a little spoon of potato salad, dip it in your gumbo. Okay, I go all in where I put the gumbo in the bowl, put the potato salad right in it. And it's just something about that hot and cold that is really nice. Now, my wife Monica is Colombian.
Okay.
So she's rice, team rice all
That's
the
it.
way.
She's never tried the potato salad?
She's tried the potato. She likes my potato salad, but she doesn't like it in the gumbo.
Okay.
She won't eat. She might eat it, take a bite of it on the side with the gumbo, but no, she is definitely team rice. So whether you're team rice or team potato salad, cook your potatoes in chicken stock, cook your rice in chicken stock,
okay.
and that way you have flavor.
I didn't think about the potatoes, too.
Yes.
All right, good. Well, to the good stuff next.
We're gonna serve this up.
Okay, looking forward to it. And I'm back with Chef Kevin Belton, who's just, it's so warm in here just because of the gumbo.
Hopefully that means it's warm
It's
in here
good.
and it's getting cool outside.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. So we're going to try this now.
We're gonna try this. And you notice, if you notice, everyone always says, how do you mound the rice in a bowl like that?
I watched you do it.
Get a ramekin, put a little butter in it or a little
Okay.
spray, pack it in, turn it over. You could do it with a little ramekin. You can use a bowl, whatever you like. That's how to get it.
All right, I'm
and
gonna
we
go
garnish
ahead
it with a
here.
little green onion, little parsley. But gang, remember, the trick is 375-degree oven, cookie sheet, 3 to 4 cups of flour, about an inch high. Keep it an inch away from the sides. Stir it every 30 minutes. Bake that flour in your oven. Put that oven to use while you're sitting there watching a movie. Bake your flour, that way you can store it.
Okay.
And remember, at home I have some I've done for 2 hours and some I've done for 4 hours. So that flour will last until you use it. And the only thing you have to do with it is re-sift it, because in the oven, as it cooks, it dries out. So in our gumbo today, we did andouille, smoked sausage, chicken, hot sausage. But we could throw some shrimp in.
Okay.
We could throw, Mom would throw in some gumbo crabs, but she would also, at the very end, put in crab meat. So you can put in crab
Yum.
meat. But if you want to do this vegetarian, sometimes I'll throw in things like broccoli, and you know what? I love butternut squash.
Vegetarian one, really?
I'll do a vegetarian gumbo with broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I might throw in a little kale, and I also use butternut squash. Butternut squash, if you cube it, and you know, gumbo cooks a long
Very
time,
fall.
it'll get very tender. But you also, with all that savory, you get that little bite of sweet from that butternut squash. So even in this one, you could throw in some sweet potatoes or butternut squash just to get a little change of flavor. It's all about the flavors.
And it's the perfect weekend to do this.
So the flavors you put in, that's the taste that's going to come out.
Yeah.
But by baking your flour, now you can do etouffee, you can whip out a gumbo in no time flat.
And you've got all that flour, and it's just ready to go.
It's ready to go. Yep.
Chef Kevin Belton, it is delicious.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Celebrating National Gumbo Day on Saturday.
Now we just have to go find some potato salad.
All right, let's go.